All right, welcome back, everybody. Garen Skates, Hannah Page here. And we're going to try to get an interview with Coach Hardy after the game with Jacqueline, so we're going to see if we can get that worked out for you. Congratulations to the Lady Westerners. They get the win, 77-69 over the Lady Hawks from Howard College. Now, of course, we're going to bring you the men's game. Again, I'm Garen Skates, Hannah Page, and Jacqueline Klinkenbeard here up in the broadcast booth. The Howard College basketball team comes in with a overall record of 12-9 and 4-5 in the conference. Meanwhile, the Westerners are 3-6 in the conference and 13-10 overall. As far as national rankings, Odessa in the Western Athletic Conference is nationally ranked. They're in the top 15. All right, and the Westerners get the tip to start things out. Starting lineup for the Westerners, we'll bring you that. Number 3, Justin Davis. Number 4, KB, Kaleem Bennett. Gary Clark, number 12, he's their leading scorer. 13, Lorenzo Downing, the top three-point shooter. And Arseny Semenov from Russia, a sophomore, 6'7", number 24. For Howard, after that pass stolen away, again, 2 20-minute halves with the men, unlike the 4 quarters at the women's, and a foul called right away. And I believe they've got it on, I guess, Downing, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and that'll be his first. Number 1, Blaze Sagna for Howard College. 2 is Damari Wiltz. 3, Jacoby Bishop. Nestor Diachok from Russia is number 24, and number 30, Bonnie Udo from Amarillo, Texas. And up for a 3 is Diachok, and he buries the 3 for the Hawks to start this game out. Clark with it now, puts it up inside to Semenov, gets his shot blocked, and he's going to draw the foul, I think, against Udall. And that's who it's on, and that'll be his first. Again, the Westerner and the Lady Westerners will be at Odessa on Thursday night, taking on the Lady Wranglers and the Wranglers in Western Athletic Conference play. Then back here on next Monday night at home, they'll be hosting the New Mexico Junior College Lady Thunderbirds and Thunderbirds. The Lady Thunderbirds, by the way, are nationally ranked in the women's top 25. Semenov hits a free throw, and it's 3-1, Howard College. Inside, Howard, they kick it back out to Sagna. Around to the top of the key. A stop by Wiltz. Behind him, back to Sagna. Puts the arm out, blocked from behind by Bennett. KB off to Davis. Back to Bennett, back to Davis. Davis, the point guard for the Westerners, who are coached by Matt Hardy. KB tried to give up the pass in the middle, but stolen there by the Hawks. Hawks in their black road uniforms with the white trim. The Westerners in their white home uniforms with the blue numerals and the green trim. And a 3 by Sagna, and he buries it. And just like that, it's a 6-1 Howard College lead. Davis up ahead to Clark. Clark off to Semenov and has his shot blocked. No foul called. And moving in, and behind him for 3 is Utah, and 3 threes by the Hawks, and it's a 9-1 Howard College lead with 17:24 to go in the first half. It's a timeout. We'll take one as well, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Western Texas College basketball. They inbound to Davis. Full court pressure by Howard College. Up ahead to Downey. Lorenzo with the basketball. Inside, Clark, the fadeaway jumper, no good. And KB with the nice putback. Coming into the game for the Westerners, 21, Tyson Brown, the freshman from Virginia Beach, Virginia. 9-3. Howard with the lead. Diachuk for 3, and he's 2 out of 2 from there. 12-3, and Howard College right now making their living from beyond the arc. KB in. Tries an acrobatic shot. Doesn't get it to fall, but he does draw the charge against Diachuk. And so he should go to the line to shoot 2. Free throw percentage for the season for the Westerners about 65%. Kaleem Bennett about 68% on the season and hits that one. KB averaging about 11 points a game. 12-4, Howard College in the lead. 16:33 to go in the first half. Inside to Wiltz, back out to Diachuk. He finally misses a 3. Clark nearly has the ball stripped. Davis brings it up. Back over to Clark. Downing fires for 3. Got it! Lorenzo Downing is the number 1 3-point shooter for the Westerners. 12-7. The lead by Howard College. Sagna down in the corner to Udall. Out to Diachuk. Sagna for 3 and buries it. 15-7, Howard College. Davis pushes the issue. Brown has it on the offensive rebound. They wave off the basket. All right, the foul against Wiltz. That'll be his first. 3 team fouls for the Hawks. Tyson Brown will go to the line for the Westerners with 2 opportunities. And a shout out. I mentioned the family shout out at the beginning of the first game. And that includes Sunshine. 15-7. Howard College the lead. 15.5 to go in the first half. Brown up, and the free throw is in. Westerners pull within 15-8. Out of the zone now, back into the man-to-man. Wiltz with the basketball. Pulls up from the free throw line and hits the jumper. Well, Howard College has come out with hot shooting. And KB gets free and up off the glass and good for Bennett. 17-10, Howard with the lead. Wiltz again with the basketball. A screen for him. Out on top to Sagna. Over to Wiltz. Crossover dribble into the lane. In the corner. And no good on that 3 attempt was Bishop. And evidently a shot clock, the buzzer didn't go off, so the official called for a shot clock violation. Howard coached by Scott Raines, assisted by Michael Dubose and Patrick Altoff.
This is going to be a game that the Westerners are going to want to win. As we mentioned before, they're headed to Odessa College, who is leading the conference right now, a 9-0 record in conference and an 18-5 record on the season. So with only 5 losses on this season, the Westerners are going to have their work cut out for them on Thursday. So want to try to get a win at home because they got a tough one on the road Thursday. And there's the shot clock.
As Diachok missed everything, so the shot clock goes off. Also coming in for the Westerners, number 1, Dawson John from Ontario, 6'5". Davis now. And the Westerners, through various and sundry items, depth of roster has been somewhat decimated, so Coach Hardy has had to figure out a lot of rotations. That foul against Wiltz, his second. Brown tries to get it into Clark, and he does. And Gary Clark, averaging about 18 points a game for the Westerners, gets it up and in.
The Tarleton signee, I believe.
Yes.
Gary Clark headed to Tarleton.
Yep, and Tarleton Division I has a lot of very recognizable television names on their schedule this year. Gonzaga was one of them. And Brown gets the rebound off the missed Udall shot. Davis back across the timeline. To the right. Over to Bennett. Brown, Davis to John. Moves in. Can't get it to go. Tries to tip it out. And Dawson is going to commit the foul. All right, it's a timeout on the floor, 17-12. Howard College, the Hawks lead the Westerners. We'll be back right after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. You're watching Western Texas College basketball live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. Blaise Sagna from Howard College with the basketball. Brains it up, hounded by Bennett. Down in the corner to Diachok. Turnaround jumper, no good. Good defense there by Dawson John. Bennett now. Off to Davis, to John, back to Davis. Davis, hounded there by Bishop. Brown to Bennett, up off the glass, but can't get it to fall. Tried the body control, but just couldn't get it to work. And Beza, number 12, tried to pass it into the corner to number 15, Andrews, but it goes out of bounds, so it'll go back to the Westerners. Davis across the timeline. Starts to make a move inside, out to Brown. Drop step. Oh, and my goodness, and Tyson Brown almost got the shot to fall. So he was fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. And I believe that foul was on Nestor Diachok of Howard College. Bishop is back in, Udall back in, Diachok out, Sagna out, Lorenzo Downing in, joining Davis, Brown, Clark, and Dawson John. So very limited in numbers at point guard for Coach Matt Hardy of the Westerners. So Justin Davis has to do some real Iron Man minutes. 17-14. Westerners have climbed to within 3. And there's a travel by Bishop. Westerners inbounded. Downing now over to Davis across the timeline. Guarded by Andrews. Brown, the lob into Clark. Quick move. Got his own miss back and still missed that. And Brown gets taken down to the floor, and they're going to call a foul. And I believe it's going to be a number 15, Andrews. All right, sorry about that. Got a little short in the system here, and then the power goes out and then comes back on. Probably already thinking about the weather that's coming in a couple of days, and it's getting cold ahead of time. The equipment, that is. And maybe us, I don't know. All right. Howard College back with the basketball. Bishop fires from in the corner. No good. Udall, a valiant effort to try to save the basketball, but he goes out of bounds.
Coming into this game, Howard's averaging 8.1 3-point shots made, and they already have 5 this game. So I think they're on pace to bring that average up tonight.
Well, they like that 3-point shot, and they got some guys that can fill it in. Justin Davis was trying to hit Dawson John for an open 3 in the corner, but unfortunately he sailed it almost all the way out of the Coliseum. Meanwhile, coming in for the Westerners, number 10, Jaden Jefferson, a freshman from Erie, Pennsylvania. And Erie, Pennsylvania, he could probably tell us all something about shoveling snow, thinking about the weather that's possibly coming on Wednesday through the end of the week.
Oh, yeah, a couple of these guys from Canada, this is nothing new to them.
Right. They're laughing at everybody else who says they're cold. And Everett gets the bucket. Lamar Everett from Manitoba for Howard College into the game. Davis now. There's a pass to John with the dribble. Jefferson with it now. Over to Clark. Back to Davis. 7 seconds in the shot clock. Justin fires it up. No good. Rebound Howard College. Everett with it.
The power of the shot fake right there. A lot of contact.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Something so simple, but people, forget to do it.
You see it more in men's basketball, but they get greedy with the shot block Everybody wants to get up in the air and block somebody's shot.
Right, ready to swat it into the seats if they can. Udall at the foul line. He hits a pair. It's a 21-14 Howard College lead. 10 minutes to go in the first half. Davis now brings the ball up against the Hawks. Over to Jefferson. And that's where, when you start to delay to move the ball by pass, it allows the defense to really kind of catch up with you. Jefferson down to John. Dawson John now with the dribble, kicks it out. Jefferson starts to drive, tries to pass it to Bennett. It was a good idea. KB flashed it along the baseline, but an errant pass, so the turnover back to Howard College.
Something to think about would be with these two long passes that we've seen. They are turnovers, but you'd much rather overpass and it go out of bounds under your own basket than shorten a pass and it lead to a layup or a dunk, a gain of momentum on the other end.
Exactly. A flash to the basket that time by Beza, and he gets the shot. John back the other way, and he throws the ball at KB's feet. You've got to either a bounce pass or you have to get it up in the air where chest high where they can handle it. Unfortunately, you pass that ball at the feet, and your teammate's going to have a hard time with it. 23-14, Howard College the lead. 9 minutes to go in the first half. Wiltz with it. Ball goes out of bounds. And it'll be WTC basketball. Davis with the basketball now. Back over to Jefferson. Quickly to John. Open for three. Got it! Dawson John. That time quick ball movement. Ended up in an open look for John from behind the arc. 23-17 Howard College. Wiltz with it. Everett and back to Beza to Sagna. Sagna puts it on the floor, guarded by Bennett, inside to Everett. Mismatch there. 25-17, the Hawks with the lead. And going in, and Tyson Brown with the put-back flush. 25-19, 8 minutes to go in the first half. Westerners trying to climb back in it. Wiltz with the basketball now, guarded by Davis. Wiltz on the block to Udall. Bulls his way in off the glass and good. And if he gets the ball down there that close, it's going to be hard to keep that thing out of the bottom of the net. Davis to Jefferson. Back to Davis. Davis gets a screen from Brown to Jefferson. Starts to pull up. Davis finds room for three, but can't get it to go. And Jefferson hustles to get the rebound. Jefferson puts up an off-balance shot, but he was fouled. And he'll go to the line for two. It's going to be number 5, Everett, with the foul. And that puts the Westerners into the bonus with 7 minutes to go in the first half. Jefferson was shooting, so he'll shoot 2 free throws. He misses the first one. Diachuk, Bishop comes back in. And Jefferson rims that one out. An empty trip from the line. 7 minutes to go in the first half. 27-19. The Hawks with the lead. Diachuk open for three on a double screen and buries it.
That's his third three of the night.
Davis ahead to John. Over to Jefferson, who tries to spin his way in and loses the basketball. 30-19, Howard College. 6.5 to go in the first half. And a 1-4 offensive alignment. Sagna pulls up. Diachuk quickly fires. Nails another three-pointer. And obviously that's a three-point shooter that you have to identify and try to cover up. 33-19 is the Howard College lead over the Westerners. You're watching Westerner basketball live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. We'll be back in just a moment. (33-19). Howard College, the Hawks over the Westerners. We're in the first half, 6 minutes to go. Westerner basketball, Davis brings it up.
I've seen a lot more confidence from Justin Davis, the Westerner point guard. I think that's he's had to put that pressure's been on him. He's gained a lot more minutes as the season has gone on, so he's kind of had to step up, but he's come into his own off the dribble, making smarter passes, seeing the floor better.
Well, yeah, exactly, and again, because of various issues, transportation related, travel related, all related, part of the pandemic affected. Justin Davis, Coach Hardy, to his defense, is very thin now at point guard. And Justin Davis has to play incredible amounts of minutes. But I believe all of that playing time goes to what you were talking about, Hannah, and the fact that it goes to, he's seen that I can play. I can play at this level. And each minute and each game he picks up more and more confidence because he's playing against some of the best in the country. When you look at our conference, it's actually down considering that we have one team ranked in the top 15 in the nation. Because I've seen plenty of years where this conference had 5 or 6 in the top 15 in the nation. But by no means, there's a lot of really good teams. And, so there's some teams that may be toward the bottom of the conference standings now, but by no means are they bad teams. They can play with some of the best. So, I think for Justin looking forward, he's going to really benefit,
And that's exactly what you want at the JUCO level. You want to get minutes, you want to get stats, you want to get film, and so this is a great opportunity for him. And when you get to play and you don't have someone sitting right behind you waiting for your minutes, you can kind of be you can gamble a little bit more, try things. So it's a learning experience. I'm sure they would, for the team's sake, wish they had more depth, which you always do, but for Davis's sake, getting those minutes, he gets to kind of gamble a little bit more and make more of his minutes.
Beza commits the foul, and he'll be coming out of the game, and Wiltz goes back in. Meanwhile, on the other end, Rakeem Pedersen dumped it off to Udo for the basket. 35-19 with Dawson John at the line, missing the front end of a 1-and-1. The next foul, the Westerners will be in the double bonus with 5:17 to go in the first half. So not a lot of offensive output at this point by the Westerners, and a lot of open shots and three-point shots from Howard, and and speaking about open shots, Udall with a wide open baseline dunk. So that's going to call for a timeout on the floor, so we're going to take one as well. 37-19, Westerners down to Howard College. We're here in the first half. You are watching Westerner basketball live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. Welcome back, everybody. Garen Skates and Hannah Page here at the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. And right now, Howard College has really come out with a lot of offensive firepower against the Westerners. And some errant passes and unforced errors have hurt the Westerners. They're inbounding the basketball now. They get it up to Davis. Off to Clark, who's back into the game. And Gary Clark, a nice move, but just couldn't finish. Boy, he did everything right, but just couldn't get it to go in. And it's been that kind of a first half for the Westerners. They're down 37-19, 4:37 to go in the first half. Pedersen out to Sagna. Dychuk, Udall. Back to Sagna for three. No good. Offensive rebound to Udall. Doesn't get it to go, but he does draw the foul.
Westerners in a 2-3 zone that possession, which the issue with the zone is you are guarding an area and not a man, so when shot goes up, you better find a man. And that was the issue right there on that possession, was shot went up, Westerners were out of rebounding position, and just got out-rebounded and then fouled.
Yeah, in a zone defense, you can't block out a zone. You have to block out a man. And that's exactly what happens. Lorenzo Downing and Jaden Jefferson are at the scorer's table waiting for their turn to come in. And the official trying to get some moisture up off the floor. All right, Utah at the line, hits the first free throw. That foul was in Tyson Brown. Jefferson, Downing come in, Brown and Dawson John come out.
Udo coming in, shooting 72% from the free throw line. 50% on that trip.
So Justin Davis brains it up. Jefferson with the ball. Top of the key to Clark. Over to Bennett. Kicks it out for three, no good. Downing couldn't hold on to the rebound. Sagna. Westerners again. Wide open on the baseline. Back out to Diachuk, 3. And generally, the baseline a lot of times is where a 2-3 zone is going to be most vulnerable. Clark with a quick 3 and hits it. 41-22, Howard College. All Hawks so far in the first half. 3:19 to go. Diachuk.
A rare miss for him.
Yeah, I was going to say he's going to be firing from everywhere. Him and Udall have been. Udall's either cleaning the miss up underneath or Diachuk's hitting from outside. It's a 43-22 Howard College lead. Oh my goodness. And there's good use of the baseline backdoor cut. The alley-oop from Davis to Kaleem Bennett for the two-handed jam.
Pretty sure that's Bennett's favorite shot right there. Earlier they passed it to him low. He said, nope, get it up. I want it up.
Exactly.
And a good point guard listens.
And if I could do that, that'd be my favorite shot. 43-24, the Hawks of Howard College. With the lead. Sagna. Wills. Foul line. Inside. Stolen. Pass attempted to Pedersen. Bennett. Clark works against Diachuk, kicks it out in the corner. Jefferson, and no chance for that one to go through. And that's the other thing, a lot of players, they get up in the air and they have to make a decision and are forced to pass it while they're up in the air, and generally you don't have a lot of good options there. Dawson John checks back in, so it's John, Downey, Clark, Bennett, and Davis on the floor for the Westerners. Out front, Udall to Diachuk, Sagna. And an awkward looking shot that time from Everett, but they said he was fouled. And I believe they got Gary Clark on the foul. Or it might have been Downing. It's Downing because that's his third. So he's out of the game. Jefferson, John, Davis, Bennett, and Clark on the floor for the Westerners. Everett with the free throw. 44-24. The lead by Howard College over the Westerners, and a travel by Davis. Trying to make a lot happen in that possession. Minute 26 to go left in the first half. Howard College with the lead. Sagna for three, no good. Clark off to Bennett, back to Clark. Tried to get over to Jefferson, but that was saved by Davis. Out to Davis. Less than a minute to go in the first half. Bennett inside to Clark. Up and off the back of the iron, no good. Gary Clark can really get his shot off quickly. Right now it's just a matter about finishing. And turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound by Jefferson. Davis up ahead. John starts to take off, but he stepped on the out of bounds line, so to be a turnover back to the Hawks. (44-24), the Howard College lead. We'll get some statistics here after the end of the first half, and we'll get back on the air and give those to you. Around the corner to Sagna, gets underneath, throws up a shot, and doesn't get it to fall. And that ends the first half. Howard College a 20-point lead over the Westerners, 44-24. We'll be back here in just a couple of minutes with some halftime statistics. You are watching Westerner basketball live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. All right, thank you for being patient with us. We got our hands on some first half statistics. Again, the Howard College Hawks, it's been all Hawks here in the first half. They lead the Westerners 44-24 in conference play. Again, the Westerners came in 13-10 overall, but only 3-6 in conference play. And the first four teams at the end of the season get to go to the Region 5 tournament. And the Westerners are not out of it, but they've got some serious work they will have to do the rest of the season if they're going to have a chance to do that. In the meantime, Hannah Page has some stats for us from the first half, so let's turn it over to her.
All right, for the first half from Howard College, leading is Nestor Diakok, who is 4 from 6 from 3. Come into the game shooting typically about 32% from the 3. Has just done a phenomenal job. He has 14 points, also with 14. Utah, we got a bucket from Wiltz and 6 points from Sagna. Off the bench, we have 5 points from Everett and another bucket from Beza. Now on to the Westerners stats. Leading the Westerners is Bennett with 7, Gary Clark with 5. We have Lorenzo Downey with a 3, Arseny Simnov, the Russian, with a free throw. Coming off the bench for the Westerners, we have Tyson Brown with 5 and Dawson John with a 3 for himself. The biggest thing in this game right now is points off turnovers. You can see Howard College has 14 and Western Texas College has 2. Let's keep in mind that the Westerners have had way more turnovers than Howard College, which leads to Howard College scoring 14 points off of turnovers. There's been 0 lead changes. Howard College has dominated this game since tip-off. Justin Davis has played the full 20 minutes, no subs. Hasn't scored any buckets, but we talked about him earlier. He's playing a lot harder. Think he's doing more with his minutes, and with the point guard position, that might not be always statistical, but just keeping the team calm, being more of a floor leader, and I think he still has more in him. That's just going to come with comfort. But 20 minutes played, he played the whole first half for Justin Davis.
All right, thank you, Hannah. I appreciate that. Just to kind of give you a look at the schedule, the Westerners and Lady Westerners, they continue conference play Thursday night. They're on the road at Odessa. And then on Monday the 7th, Thursday the 10th, they skip Monday, the following Monday, and then Thursday the 17th, 7th, 10th, and 17th, the Lady Westerners and the Westerners all here at home. New Mexico Junior College, Midland College, and South Plains. And I would say that if you're going to make a run for both of those teams and have a chance to make the tournament, the Region 5 tournament, that's where it's going to happen.
Yep.
That's where it's going to happen. And then they finish out their season on the road at Frank Phillips College. So, but in the meantime, the Westerners have another half to play here, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes with the start of the second half. Again, the Westerners down to Howard College, 44-24. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. Garen Skates and Hannah Page here, live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. Western Athletic Conference play. Earlier tonight, we saw the Lady Westerners defeat the Lady Hawks from Howard College 77-69, but it's been all Howard College here in the men's game, leading here at the half 44-24, and we begin the second half of play. Hawks with the basketball. Westerners back into the 2-3 zone. And a steal by Dawson John, so a good start to the second half for the Westerners, and they're going to need a lot of good things to happen here. Clark for three, got it. So Gary Clark gets himself open for three, and it's a 44-27 Howard College lead. Sagna with the basketball for the Hawks to Diachuk, right side, skips it back around. Inside to Wills, guarded by Brown, and up and over, no good. And Davis, and a long pass, Tyson Brown, and a rare opportunity for the Westerners to get out and run the break. So Diachuk's going to end up with the foul. That'll be his third. And just like that, Tyson Brown's going to go to the line and shoot two. But first, there's a quick timeout by Howard College, so we'll take one as well, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, welcome back live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. Tyson Brown from the Westerners is going to go to the foul line and shoot a pair of foul shots. He was fouled by Nestor Diachuk from the Hawks. Hawks leading 44-27. Brown and Tyson, a nice looking free throw, hits that one. So the first 5 minutes of this half are really crucial for the Westerners, and if they're going to be able to get back into this ball game, they got to try to get it closed to within 10 by 10 minutes left in the ball game. Of course, the three-point shot makes a lot of things possible. Sagna misses the three. Clark, a nice block out on the rebound, which not a lot of that happened in the first half, but it did there. And so Jacoby Bishop with the foul. Bennett now with the basketball. Up to Davis. Guarded by Wiltz. Behind Clark to John. Picks up his dribble to Clark. Udall pokes it away. Gary Clark a quick two. Tyson Brown tries to get a hold of the shot on the offensive rebound, and I think they're going to call Diachuk for the foul, and they do, and that's 4 on him. And we see his 15 points have to go to the bench with 18 and a half to go in the second half. Rakeem Pedersen comes into the game, and the inbounds pass is knocked out of bounds. Westerners will go at it again. There's 20 seconds on the shot clock. Bennett into Davis. Try the pick and roll. Clark with the basketball. Wants to work down low. Gary Clark up off the glass. Gary Clark can really score very quickly when he gets down low where he can work, as well as the outside shot. 44-30, Howard College, the lead. Westerners go back into that zone. We'll see if they can stay in it. Wiltz with the basketball into the lane. Back out to Sagna. And 3-second violation on Wiltz, on the Hawks. So turnover back to the Westerners.
First 2 minutes of this half, Westerners have taken off with 6 points, and Howard College in a scoring drought.
Except for that steal in the layup.
Ended.
That's what we
Turnover.
call in the old school days a kibosh. He kiboshed the Westerners. All right, 46-30, Howard College with the lead. Gary Clark with the basketball. He puts it up over Udall, who commits the foul. And I think one thing, and I know we're down by 16 here, but we are making some inroads, first of all. But the other thing I like about the fact is that we're going to the basket, and that is starting to draw some fouls, you know. And Gary Clark makes the free throw. So what you'd like to see, and Lorenzo Downing comes in for Dawson John. But I think you know, you'd like to see it, obviously, if you're a Westerner fan, where they can maybe get into a bonus situation, get some, and create some opportunities to score from the foul line with the clock stopped to help climb back in it. 46-32, the Howard College Hawk lead. Wiltz with it now, up over Brown and hits it. And that's why that free throw line jumper for Wiltz, you can tell he's extremely comfortable with that shot. Davis now working across the timeline against Sagna. Clark down to Brown against Udall, off the glass and good. A nice move by Tyson Brown using his reach. 48-34. The Hawks lead. Western Texas still trying to work that zone. We'll see if they'll ever to stay in it. The three is off, and Clark and Udall fight for the rebound. So it's a jump ball, and the alternate possession goes to the Westerners. Into Downey. Works against Sagna. Now off to Davis. Quickly across the timeline. Man-to-man defense by the Hawks. Brown to Bennett. And they reach in, and the foul off of Bennett's leg, and it's a turnover back to the Hawks. You know, when you're trying to work and get into a position down low like that, the problem is that, you know, the more dribbles you take, the more that things can collapse on you, you know, if you're not able to make a move right away. Fades it to Wiltz, inside to Udall. Shot blocked. Putback is up and in by Udall. And I think they're going to call the foul on Downey.
His fourth.
So he's going to have to take a seat. So Udall at the line hits the free throw to complete the three-point play, and the Hawks push it back to a 51-34 lead. Brown makes the move and draws the foul. And it's on Beza, draws the foul against him. A non-shooting foul. Davis has the ball hit back out of bounds, so they try it again. Brown out to Davis. Back to Clark. Gary for three, can't get it to go. Rebound to Wiltz. Brains it up for the Hawks. Wiltz inside to Pedersen. Out to Wiltz. And misses the shot. Clark the rebound off to Davis. Davis tried to give it up to Brown, but too close together. Clark commits the foul. But when the big man's trailing behind you and he's right next to you, that's a hard pass to transfer over. And not what he's used to having to handle in that position. So not a bad idea, but just kind of the wrong space to execute that. Sagna at the line, hits a free throw. And we're at 14:57 to go in the second half.
That fast break might be one that Justin Davis wants to utilize the jump stop. With people coming up behind him with that momentum, they're not going to be able to stop with him. He jump stops, they fly by. He either has the shot, little jump shot, or the pass might be there.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to let your big guy get down low where he can, he could collect it and then make a move with it. But generally catching it on the fly like that too and on the run, that's just a lot to ask. 52-34, the Hawks with the lead. Clark inside. Brown has his shot blocked. A loose ball rattles around. Pedersen ends up with it. Up and good for the bucket. And Coach Hardy wants a timeout. 54-34, Howard College with the lead over the Westerners. We'll take a break and we'll be back right after this. You are watching Westerner basketball live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. Welcome back, everybody. Gear and Skates, Hannah Page here. The Coliseum in Snyder, Texas, Western Athletic Conference play. Well, the Lady Westerners ended up with a win tonight, but the men have had a rough go of it, and Howard College has really come out shooting well. We're in the second half with a little over 14 minutes to go, and the Hawks have a lead over the Westerners, 54-34. Westerners have time, but they'll have to put together a big offensive run if they're going to get themselves back in this. Meanwhile, Tyson Brown worked against Udall, who committed the foul, and that puts the Westerners in the 1-and-1 bonus right now. So Brown shoots a free throw, and hopefully he'll get another one, but nope, he misses that one. And so it's Howard College basketball, and the rebound. Sagna brings it up. Across the timeline, over to Beza. Back around. Wiltz at the foul line. That's where he likes to operate from, and because he does just exactly that. I know he's got at least 8 to 10 points from that same exact spot in the floor.
Contested.
From the foul line, the 15-foot jumper. Kind of a lost art these days. Justin Davis fires up an open three. And it's one and done right now for the Westerners. Sagna, top of the key. Wiltz in the corner. Beza, cut off there, back to Wiltz. Beza has his shot blocked by Bennett. Good job there. To Clark. John with it. Pulls up and gets it. Dawson John, a nice three-pointer. 56-37, the Hawks. We've got 12:38 to go in the ball game. Beza, Wiltz, Sagna for three, no good. And you saw that time Justin Davis sagging in to help on Wiltz a little bit. To Brown, moves toward the bucket and gets it to fall. 56-39, the Hawks lead. Westerners still playing that 2-3 zone, and lack of depth in numbers, I know, factor into that decision by Coach Hardy to play that. John, a quick three, probably too quick, is off after that steal by the Westerners. Sagna to Pedersen, back to Beza for three, no good. Clark to Bennett. Decides to make a move with the Euro hop and gets the bucket and gets it to fall. And it's a 56-41. 56-41 Howard College lead. Timeout on the floor. We're going to take one as well. You're watching Westerner basketball live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. All right, we'll see what the Westerners can do in the final 11-28. Down to the Hawks from Howard College in Big Spring, Texas. 56-41. Hawk basketball. Sagna inbounds to Wiltz. Westerners staying in the 2-3 zone. They've been in it for a majority of the game. Dychuk back into the game now. Up. No good. He's got 4 fouls. John to Davis. Jaden Jefferson into the game. Brown at the foul line. In the corner. John off the glass. And a good job to avoid a charge. He didn't get the bucket, but he is going to go to the line, and he collected a foul, I believe, against Utah. And that's going to be 4 on him. So Howard College with 2 people. Hannah with 4 fouls apiece, 8 team fouls in this half. So the Westerners, if they can be aggressive and get some more fouls on some people, they could get a chance again to score from the line with the clock stopped.
And both of those players in foul trouble are the leading scorers for Howard College. So we've seen each of them get pulled out, and it's just on the Westerners to capitalize on that absence of scores.
Well, I'll tell you what, Wiltz is deadly on the 15-foot jumper. I mean, he's automatic. Brown works inside and around Diachuk, who had to give a little ground because he had 4 fouls on him, and it's a 58-45 Howard College lead. Westerners have a chance if they can make some inroads offensively and get a defensive stop or 2. Wiltz behind him to Jacoby. Sagnas makes a move. Back to Jacoby for 3. No good. And Downing a great block out.
Great blackout possession for the Westerners. It felt like every white jersey had a black body behind him.
Jefferson and a reach-in foul, I believe, on Bishop. And again, the Westerners in the 1-and-1 bonus. So again, this is their opportunity to try to score with no time running off the clock.
Back in for the Westerners, number 12, Gary Clark. He has 22 tonight.
It's 4 points above his average. And Jefferson, and Clark ends up with the missed free throw and the bucket back up and in. So the empty trip to the line, Clark salvaged that possession, and it's 58-47. Wiltz over to Sagna. Contested 3. Oh, and they're going to call Jefferson. He was getting manhandled underneath, and they're going to call the push on Jaden. Jaden, tough call there, my friend. Pedersen now. Into Wiltz. Diachuk's setting up over there in the way. Now he comes up. Back to Sagna. Bishop for a long 3. Blocked by Jefferson. Clark off to Davis. Downing fakes the 3, goes in. Oh, a great move by Lorenzo Downing. And how about that? Jefferson block. Downing takes it to the hole. People with the foul trouble they give ground a little bit, and he gets to the rim. 58-49. Howard's lead of 20 is now 9. All right, there's a timeout on the floor. We're going to take one as well. You're watching Westerners basketball live from the Coliseum in Snyder. Welcome back, everybody. Garen Skates and Hannah Page here. Hannah and I were talking for the Westerners offensively right now. You got to figure their best option is going to be attacking the rim, and either draw the foul, and you might foul somebody out, or if they give way, you get a look at the rim. You get a look at point blank range for a high percentage shot.
And this crew has done a pretty good job, this reffing crew tonight, of calling contact under the basket. We know Gary Clark has no problem getting over the top of people, but even players like Justin Davis or Dawson John, who are a little bit smaller, could still get in there and get a foul call.
So he's he's rotating Tyson Brown in and out. Jaden Jefferson getting some big minutes. Sagna inside and gets stuffed by Jefferson. And at first I thought they were calling a foul, but it's a jump ball. So on the alternate possession, it's going to be Howard College basketball, but still a good play by Jaden. Sagna out to Pedersen. Udall. Bishop. Sagna back to Wiltz. Starts to move in. And Bishop over Clark and Jefferson coming in for the weak side rebounding help. 58-49. The Hawks with the lead. Clark, a spin move up, the floater. Oh my goodness, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Gary Clark. Had the right idea.
Leading scorer back in for the Hawks.
Diachuk, yeah. Diachuk.
15. He has 15.
He does.
All threes.
Sagna off to Wiltz, to Sagna. Pedersen. Diachuk back to Wiltz in the corner. Out to Diachuk. Wiltz inside, wide open to Udall. (60-49), the Hawks. Davis pulls up and gets the jumper. 60-51. 7-11 to go in the ball game. Howard College with the lead in the basketball. The Westerners are going to need a stop. A couple of them. Sagna to Wiltz, and Howard College looking to wilt away the time on each possession. Diachuk, a quick three, and gets stuck. So that's a jump ball. And Justin Davis, impressive, jumped up and slapped it out of there. Jefferson out, Tyson Brown in. 6:50 to go in the ball game. Westerners a chance to close to within 7. Bennett back into the game as well. Downing working up on Pedersen. All right, knocked out. So Downing looking to inbound. They do to Bennett. He's going to try to work in. And 17 seconds on the shot clock as Udall tips it out. Udall's kind of limping a little bit. He seems a little ginger for one of his ankles. To Brown. Hands off to Davis. Justin starts to move in. Downing thought about a three. Inside to Brown. Up, over, Bennett. And with the shot clock at 1, Bennett draws the foul. So that puts the Westerners, for the last 6:20 of this ball game, Hannah, into the double bonus. It gets a foul on Sagna. That's, I believe, was his first. But more importantly, it gets the Westerners into the double bonus.
We're going to have a free throw lane violation on
Bennett.
Bennett himself, which he does that. He always kind of follows his shot, falls into the lane.
And he's 0 for 2 there, and that's a tough. Those are the kind of things that really come back to get you when you get those trips to the line and can kind of catch back up and you come up empty.
And you worked so hard to come back in this game going into halftime down by 20. Now you're just at a 9-point deficit here. You really, it's kind of like a mind game. Well, you work this hard to get yourself back in position. Why stop now? You want to make the most of it.
Clark, a nice block on Pedersen. Westerners back the other way. Again, a chance to climb to within 7. But instead they throw the ball away. Tough to make that entry pass. Tough to make that entry pass from on top. You've got to get over to the side. That's the best place to make the entry pass to the big man, is from the side. And we were watching, I was watching, I think it was Texas Tech the other night on TV. And, D1 college players, are making the same mistake. Udall, and somehow the Westerners gave it away 2 possessions in a row, but yet got it back. Bennett goes in, off balance. Clark with it now. Cross court to Davis. Westerners seem a little out of control. A lot of hand checking.
Yep. Tyson Brown rolls, keeps him on his back. If he could have had that pin.
Clark, contact and no call.
Foul on Davis.
Oh, my. But that's only the 4th on the Westerners. Well, the Westerners just offensively haven't been able to get anything to go here, for the last minute and a half. 4:40 to go in the ball game. The Westerners still down 9, 60-51. They've come up with some defensive stops, but have misfired on the offensive end. Turning the ball back over or not been able to get a clean shot. Wiltz with the basketball. And somehow over Tyson Brown gets it to fall. All right, it's a timeout on the floor. 62-51, Howard College leads. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching Western Texas College Westerner basketball live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. All right, welcome back. Garrett Skates, Hannah Page here live from the Coliseum. Snyder, Texas, 4:18 to go in the ball game, and the Westerners down to Howard College 62-51. The Westerners are in the double bonus, but they've really struggled for the last 2 minutes offensively. They were down by 20. They're down by 11 now. They had got it to within 9, but have not been able to get any closer than that. Clark with the basketball now. Davis fires for 3, and Downing and Sagna go for it. It's off of Downing's leg. Four minutes to go. Sagna inbounds to Wiltz. So Wiltz with the basketball out there holding. They're trying to eat up some clock. Udall. And back to Wiltz. Into Diachuk. No good, but Udall the rebound. Back out to Diachuk for 3. No good again. And a lot of physical play underneath, and no call, and it's going to be Hawk basketball. Dawson John in the game. And Tyson Brown a block. Over Pedersen, and they're going to call Tyson for the foul. They grab a towel from the Hawk bench, and so Pedersen will go to the line to shoot 2 with 3:31 to go in the ball game, and the Hawks leading the Westerners 62-51. And the first free throw is off. Pedersen has another one coming. And he hits that one. John inbounds to Bennett. To Davis, quickly up, pulls up and can't get it to go. He was open about 8 foot away, but couldn't get the jump shot to fall. Boy, the Westerners take the 3-2 or the 2-3, they almost make it a 2-1-2.
Westerners matchup here, which is probably best.
Yep. Wiltz, almost traveled. Udall with it now, backs Brown in. Throws it up, no good. Shot clock violation, offensive rebound. Udall throws it up, ball slapped around, and Davis ends up with it. John for 3. Got it. And a timeout by Coach Matt Hardy of the Westerners. 63-54, Westerners back to within 9, but they're running out of time. 2:26 to go in the ball game. We'll be back right after this. You are listening to and watching Western Texas College Westerner basketball live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. Welcome back to the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. The Westerners hosting the Howard College Hawks. Hawks leading 63-54, 2:25 to go in the ball game. Westerners down by over 20 a couple of times. Been trying to climb their way back into it, but they're about out of time and opportunities. Udall misses the shot, but then the Westerners throw it right back to, and somehow Tyson Brown got the block on the way down and didn't foul. Clark now in there, and the reach in, and wow, just about everything goes at this point. And Sagna gets a layup at the other end. And that's where, again, Gary's got the ball down low, and he's so quick, and it's such a quick release, but he's got the ball and holding it at his waist, and it allows people to collapse. You have to either make the move up or you get it back out and then get the ball back, and then you can make your move. But either way, it's a timeout on the floor. 65-54 is the Howard College Hawks lead, and we'll take a short break. We'll be right back with the rest of the action. Westerners inbound the basketball down to the Hawks, 65-54. A minute 40 to go in the ball game, and the Westerners are going to need to find a lot of offense in a hurry. And another turnover by the Westerners. Wiltz comes down. Sagna, big time travel, but no call. My goodness. Bennett now with the basketball to Clark. Fires the three. Davis goes in. Udall collects the basketball, and a minute to go. Dawson John fouls Pedersen.
Seems like Westerners aren't too concerned with the quality of shot, just the speed. That might be hurting them more than helping them. We've seen the last couple trips down the floor.
Yeah, they felt the clock winding down, and without a lot of time in the game, they were trying to hurry and get shots up. But it's just that they'll get a defensive stop and either give up an offensive rebound, or they've just had so many turnovers. Back to the Hawks. It's hard to come back when you're turning the ball over. It's about the best way I could say it. It's just, they so Brown comes out, Downing comes in. And I would imagine, being as short as numbers as Coach Hardy is, probably fatigue enters into it too. We haven't talked about that. But I would imagine by now your legs are pretty well gone. You've had a very short, you've only been able to have just a very, very short rotation.
Free throw violation. Shot won't count.
67-54. Gary Clark off to Downing. Fires for three. Got it. And Justin Davis commits the foul. Sort of put Wiltz at the line. But it's just a huge hole to dig yourself, that deep, and to come back, and then again every turnover is magnified, and not being able to finish shots, and get yourself, and being able to really take advantage fully of the fact that you were in the double bonus with 6 minutes to go in the game, and you had two of their players in foul trouble, and yet, we just never really able to fully take advantage of that. Davis now brains it up, 68-57. The Hawk lead.
It's a good take.
Justin gets the layup. And Udall back the other way for the dunk on the release. And 29 seconds and counting. Clark fires a three. And 10 seconds later, that's going to call it a ball game. And the Howard College Hawks come into the Coliseum and grab the win 70-59. Westerners made a valiant comeback, but just too little and too late. And again, kind of outmanned as far as numbers go and not able to have the depth that you wanted. I'm going to run down and pick up some statistics, and we'll wrap up by providing those to our viewers. You are watching Westerner Basketball Live from the Coliseum in Snyder, Texas. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, welcome back. We'll wrap up our post game here with some statistics. Looking ahead at individual scoring, again, the Howard College gets the win over the Westerners, 70-59. For the Hawks, Blaise Sagna with 9, Damari Wiltz with 12, 2 by Jacoby Bishop, Nestor Dychuk with 15, and Bonnie Udo with 21 to lead the Hawks. 4 by Rakeem Pedersen, 5 by Lamar Everett, Ciro Beza with 2. The Hawks shot 67% from the free throw line for the game, 33% from the three-point line, and 43% from the field. For the Westerners, they were led in scoring tonight with 14 points by Gary Clark, 9 by Kaleem Bennett, 4 by Justin Davis, 8 by Lorenzo Downey, a point by Arseny Semenov, 11 by Dawson John off the bench, and 12 off the bench for Tyson Brown. The Westerners shot 45% from the field, 41% from three-point range, and then 44%, and that really is a big story right there, Hannah, 44% from the free throw line. Just
not what you want to see.
Not going to get her done.
Not what
not
you want to see.
Get her
we
done.
know what they'll be doing this week in practice.
I would imagine standing at that charity stripe right
yes,
out there,
sir.
Shooting free throws. All right, go ahead and tell us where we ended up at record-wise.
So after tonight, Howard College is currently 5-5 in conference play, holding the fifth spot. They moved to 13-9 on the season. Western Texas College moves to 3-7 in conference play and 13-11 on the season in 7th place in the conference. WTC will head to Odessa College, who's currently the #1 team in the conference, on Thursday. Then they will be back at home at the Coliseum next Monday versus NMJC.
All right. Hannah, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we hope you enjoyed the broadcast, if not the outcome. And again, Thank you to our erstwhile videographer and live streaming czar, Mr. Corey Dyke. We certainly appreciate all the work he does here. And so again, until we get a chance to bring you live commentary again, we hope you all have a safe, good evening. And again, be mindful of the weather that's moving in through the area in 48 hours and keep watch on the weather models there. So for Hannah and I'm Garen, have a pleasant and a safe good evening.